Before I get started, I should let you guys know that I'm very sorry that this video took so long to release because I've done different versions of this video and the previous ones I haven't been very satisfied with. I've had a hard time picking the tone with what this video is going to be like, and it just kind of prevented me from expressing how I actually felt. And I wanted to give a bit more time to be fully realized and actually have some coherent thoughts so I can tell you guys what I actually do know, and that way you guys can actually get where I'm coming from. And I originally wanted to post this the day that I actually left the face off the earth when this specific event happened that I'm about to explain in this video and why I disappeared off of YouTube. So here's the true story. Here's what I've been through. I'm just going to be talking a lot more about what the stuff that I dealt with and what prevented me from doing the stuff on YouTube that I've wanted to do so much. So let's start off real slow. I don't want to get too detailed on this whole specific matter, and I kind of want this to be a bit more lighthearted than my previous versions of this video. I've come across as kind of melodramatic in previous videos that I recorded. That's why I haven't been satisfied with it, so I'm just going to be straight with you guys, and this is coming from my experiences. So first off, I should start this off right after graduation. After I graduated from high school, I'm currently 20 right now. I'm about to be 21 actually, just about next month, and it's time for me to become an adult and all that. So I graduated from high school, and I wanted to do things, and not specifically things that I wanted to do, but just do things that because I feel like it will lead me towards a better path than where I thought I was going to succumb to. So I went to college for a bit. I attended Nova. I wasn't doing so hot. I've been dealing with some things, some personal things that I don't think factors in too much to what the story has to deal with, so I want to keep it brief. But basically, I felt kind of depressed, and I just didn't know what to do. I felt so lost. Because of that, I got academic probation, and it's kind of hard for me to admit this stuff, but I feel like you guys should get the context of where I'm getting at. So I didn't do so hot. I didn't know exactly what to do. It came to a point where I didn't know what I was gonna do, and plus I hardly had the money to make up for all of that. So it was hard to know exactly where I'm heading at. Um, One day during the summer, after I was done with my first year, I had a phone call, and it was from an army recruiter. Little backstory: I had no history with being in the military, and back then I didn't think I would have to ever join so military branch or whatnot. And but I was just young and I was curious, and I didn't exactly have the brightest mind, and I just decided to just go along with it and just try it out just because I felt like I didn't have anything else to do at this point, so I just did it for the heck of it. Now, before you guys get angry at me, for those of you who are in the military, for those of you who had this similar kind of experience, just so you know, I am an idiot when it comes to this sort of thing, and I was not experienced at all. I had no intention, I had no motivation. I just did it just because. And that is a terrible excuse of me, and I look back on it now and I was just ashamed of what I put myself through then the following months. And so I just eventually did all the processes that leading up to basic training. I eventually passed and did all the stuff that was required of me. It didn't quite hit me what I was gonna go through. I was a really ignorant person, and I really wish I had done some research, and because I was just so busy with whatever it is I had with my life that I always wanted to do. I just didn't think of the consequences, or I just didn't think of what would happen to me in the following months to come. So it came time when I left in June 18th. I remember finally it was the day after Father's Day. I spent my time with my dad before I started heading out. It was time for me to head to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for basic training. So the following events that happened that lead up to this uh, basically went like this. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and then I saw the hell that came before me that I was gonna have to go through. And it's a experience. I don't want to go in depth now. I stated a lot of things in the previous videos, the previous version of this video that I wasn't really fond of, and I didn't want to go into detail a whole lot about. But I just decided I'm just gonna tell you guys just what my overall experience was like over there. I was pretty miserable because I was inexperienced and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and that's no excuse for me. I just felt stuck. I felt more stuck over there than I was back at home because I could just I don't know, think of alternates of how what I could have done. It's not to say that I was ashamed of my whole experience there because there were some good things that came out of it. I had a somewhat good experience overall, but it was just overall like negative kind of emotion that I've been feeling. It's just the way I've just been dealing with some things. Just a little background about myself. Actually, I've been kind of an introvert, and I was not about to be cooperative with a lot of people, and it's kind of hard to deal with drill sergeants yelling at you left and right, and it was it's pretty excruciating for me at least, and I get it was the whole entire point is just to break you down, but I guess it was just something I was not used to, and I had a background in which I've been barked at, I've been ordered at by people who I feel were manipulating me. I just felt almost at home at times, and in the worst way possible, actually. And it's one feeling that I always want to get away from, but it always does, you know. I mean, you're not always going to be with happy, lovey-dovey people, so I'm just, I just didn't want any of that. But it is what it is over there. I just decided to go along with it, and I want to make this work just so I can hopefully get something out of it. And for the most part, I did get some things, but I unfortunately had succumbed to a kind of fear that I wish I never had, but alas, it took over me. I had some great battle buddies in mind, though, to kind of cheer me up and whatnot and motivate me to keep going. Part of me didn't know if I wanted to keep moving or not. I just been hiding away my true self and my true feelings for when I was over there. I'm grateful that there's still people out there that were able to help me push forward. And if you guys are watching, by the way, if you guys somehow got my channel from when I met you guys, I just want to say, I'm grateful that you guys were sticking up for me. And even though it was just kind of hard, I at times did feel like I've been attacked, but for the most part, it really was just because I needed a motivation, and I just really needed to push myself. Really, I went to church there just to feel like I'm at home. Just know that I have some faith. I pray almost every night. There's not a time that goes by over there where I didn't feel like crying just because I was far away from home. When it really came down to for me is that I had some pretty excruciating experiences and I was very inexperienced. And I was reluctant to go along with a lot of the things over there. I was very ignorant, and at few points I got myself injured. I had actually twisted my ankle so bad, and it kind of prevented me from doing a lot of things I was supposed to do there during basic training. I felt ridiculed at points. This is really hard to talk about, guys. After a year or so, you can guys tell it's been over a year now. It has been a year since I've actually came back, so I want to release this video in time for this, and I just really wanted to tell you guys um, what I've been holding in inside, and this will probably be the last time I ever talk about it. So I just, and I'm sick of doing this too because, again, multiple versions, and I've been sick of saying the same things over and over. But I feel this is the fine enough time for me to open up myself about these things. But yeah, I twisted my ankle so bad I had to be in crutches for most of the time. It was my first time ever using crutches, and it was not fun. It was terrible. I still get some support, although I've been kind of like reluctant to do some more training. But I still try to do and make the best of it. It was just that people over there that really wanted to be there, and I guess I didn't. And I guess that was my problem. I didn't have a drive to move on. Or I didn't have a purpose. I feel that being over there, I feel like every excuse I can make over there that I've been telling people over there were false and just something out of character for me. And I feel ashamed that I had to picture myself as something that I'm not. And the thing I'm not in the end is a soldier. I'm not a soldier. Even though, that's what I was supposed to be over there, but it just didn't turn out how it could have. And in the end, I eventually did not graduate, and I had to be a holdover over there. It was the longest time I've ever gone without being with the same people I was with, and I just felt so lost and ever. I guess my battery commander didn't know exactly what to do with me, except for that they wanted to have me be a recycle. They wanted me to recycle, and that I had to do this all over again. And all I could just think to myself is, I really wish I wasn't doing this whole time, or that I actually did push myself further and actually pass, so I can, you know, get past all this, because I didn't want to have to do it again. I guess my feelings just came over me, and I just didn't want to move on further, and I perpetuated this whole thing and just prevented myself from recycling. Yeah, I was a coward when it comes to that, and ashamed of that, really. This is hard, guys. This is really hard, and this is terrible. But again, there were times when I did enjoy myself at times. I mean, I did get to, shoot a weapon. We can't say gun, so we should just say shoot our rifles or our weapons, and it was cool. I did cool things there. I had fun with things. The whole point of it was just to, be the soldier and be, fulfill your MOS, and just, pay off your college fees and whatnot. I guess that's what I was trying to do, just to, do that, but it didn't turn out how, I wanted to. But anyways, after 2 months of that, it came time for me to recycle, and I didn't want to go through with it. So I prevented myself from doing so by getting myself injured, and I've been ridiculed by my previous drill sergeants, and some of them didn't really like me. Just I want, but I mean, I guess they understood it wasn't for me afterwards, and so maybe after a month and a half or so, then when they decided that I should be chaptered out with an honorable discharge, chapter 11, which is a failure to adapt, and I was kind of relieved, while at the same time didn't know if I really deserved it or not. I felt like I should have some remedial action for doing the things that I did to prevent me from moving on. I didn't know if I wanted to keep on, so I think it was the right move for me. And from here on out, it was most of my holdover days was just me sitting there on the benches, or just watching people. Or at times I did kind of work out a bit. Actually, I did some PT just to pass the time, and I felt good doing it. Just feeling like I'm actually contributing, doing something while to prevent myself from being bored as a holdover. I've been left alone for quite a bit, and I think the drill sergeants over there kind of opened up to me a bit. They're just fine with me being this holdover, and I guess they were kind of nicer. I mean, I still get ridiculed here and there, and but I think they just understood that this was something I wanted to do, and I feel respected for that. Kind of. It's hard to explain, but I mean, this is just something that I was not used to. Then came a time where I had to leave, and I just couldn't believe it actually did happen. I know I'm gonna be called a coward by a lot of the people who I met, a lot of you, my battle buddies. Those of you who are watching, I'm sorry I disappointed you, but this is just a decision that I made, that I just couldn't move on, and I just had to live my life. I eventually did made it back home, and on the 20th today, and it was so bittersweet. I tried food again, like instead of the MREs that I ate. My God, those were initially bad, but I've gotten used to them while during my time there. But I just couldn't imagine myself eating MREs for the rest of my life. There were some good things in the MREs, which I'll admit, and it was really fun to eat MREs once in a while, at least the good ones. But the story doesn't really end there. Once I made it back home, it came time for me to also decide if I ever wanted to go back to college or just remain here and content. I just felt like I needed some time for some relief. I'm glad to see my friends again. I was glad. And a lot of people, I was not open about this, so a lot of people were wondering where I was the whole time. Like, why did you disappear off the face of the earth? And most people find out through, I guess, my mom tells some people, and I maybe told one of my friends about it. Actually, I talked to Amari. So Amari, yeah, thanks for keeping it a secret, at least until people started asking you. But I don't blame you for that. But I still didn't feel like myself. That's the problem. I feel like I wasn't fully back. Months and months passed by. I turned 20, and I still didn't feel the same. I was not satisfied with what I was doing. I've been living kind of like a slob, and I've gotten into arguments with my mom, and I didn't want to be open about this, guys, but I just need to tell you guys what I've been through this past year, just so you guys can get an idea of why I've disappeared for so long. But I disappeared, and then I come back, but I didn't fully recover. I didn't recuperate, at least mentally. I just felt so lost. I break down a whole lot, even when I was back here. I had terrible thoughts. From time to time, I would always get lectured by my parents or my friends. My friends would realize that I wasn't acting like myself like I used to back then, and it would alarm them so bad, and I hated that. I hated that I didn't come back in the same way I used to. And I guess I was just suffering mentally, and I felt like I suffered PTSD, and I wanted to forget about what I've been through, but at the same time, I just wanted to be a learning experience for me. And in the end, that's just what it is for me. It was just a learning experience. It's just something that I've held back that now I decided to open up to. Maybe like 3 times now. Again, like I made like 3 different versions of this video, and dang it, I cannot be satisfied with. I'm back, but I don't know if I'm gonna make content again. I'm just here to tell you guys what I've been through, and I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys don't hate me for taking too long. I thank you guys for being patient. I thank you guys for being tolerable. And that's that. And if you guys noticed by now, I have long hair again. Yeah, my battle buddies might be shocked by that. I showed you guys some of the photos of me with long hair before on my phones, and that's the thing too. We didn't have phones except during the white phase. Yeah, it was the white phase. So we had red, white, and blue phase. Red phase was the worst, just because it was just the whole time we were just being barked at, and we were losing too. And that's another thing. I kind of enjoyed how well, at the same time was not, enjoying the fact that I was part of the worst team, the Spartans. I'm kind of ashamed, but but I'm just like, oh, you guys don't attack me for all these things, that I've been responsible for and I should have been responsible of. But yeah, I overall I just don't want to talk too much about it anymore, and I'm just glad to be home now. I'm getting better now. I feel like I've learned from my mistakes and hope to not do it again. I think the lesson in all this for me is that I feel it isn't right for me. If I feel that I shouldn't have overstated my welcome, I should just say no. I should be open about how I truly feel. I should speak up. I should just flat out say no. I missed out on majority of the summer because of that, but at the same time, again, I'm not ashamed of it. I did not regret too much about it. So this is a learning curve. That's just what it is for me, and I hate to be repetitive over that, but that's why I feel. So guys, that is it for me. I'm tired of talking about it now. I try to shorten this down a bit because there's some pauses here and there and kind of some mumble jumble kind of stuff. But I hope you guys get the general idea of what I've been through now. And to all you battle buddies out there, if you guys haven't, like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Certainly nothing like this, because I hate to be a dramatic person. I hate when I associate myself with drama, but I feel like you guys deserve to know what I've been up to. This is something that I need to explain. I think this is where I should end right there. Thanks for being supportive, and check out more videos over here. I want to, post the videos of Otakon and just like this little mini stuff that I don't want to include in the full video for that one, but just there you go. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and not in the same way, but at least you got something out of it. Thanks again, and hope to see you guys very soon. Take care.